Kammuri is now a tropical storm moving towards the west of the Philippines. Still got some convection on the backside of this. That is still bringing some heavy showers across northern Luzon. But the good news, the heavy impacted areas here of Mindoro through southeastern Luzon into Bicol, the conditions are vastly improving there. And in fact, just take a look at some of the headlines. We have had 4 deaths reported from this storm system, 2 in Mindoro, widespread flooding and communication outage actually in much of Bicol. In fact, a good friend out there, videographer James Reynolds, was in Legazpi. He traveled across much of Bicol. He said power was out for the most part, and communication as well. He was out of communication for about 12 hours there, so hopefully things can get back up soon, and you can kind of get an idea of how much damage really took place. And also on a less important note, but still, as far as economics are concerned, the Southeast Asian Games have been impacted. There has been some cancellations, but hopefully things can get back to normal as this storm does continue to track towards the west. Winds right now, though, are 60, gusting up to 85 knots. Pressure up to 985 hectopascals. What does that mean? Well, it means it's weakening. Dry, cool air continuing to filter in with a cold surge from the north, and what that simply means is, well, take a look at this. Total precipitable water in the atmosphere. And with tropical systems hate is this stuff back towards the north. These darker purples, actually even some back towards the west, which is good news from any development coming out of that area too. All of this is spilling towards the south, and that is just going to tear Kammuri, locally known as Tisoy, absolutely apart. And the official forecast from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, let's go back, actually shows that as well. Weakening out here, moving towards the west, and eventually it does turn towards the south as well. And here's kind of a bigger picture of what I'm talking about with that high pressure towards the north and that cool, dry air spilling in. In fact, some decent sea effect snow taking place across Japan as well to the higher elevations there. So all of this is connected. It's kind of interesting how fluid this is. And you can actually see the fluid dynamics with this as we go ahead through Tuesday into Wednesday as our remnants of Kammuri pulls towards the west. You have all of that cool air spilling in from the north across Taiwan. It is going to bring some gusty conditions there. And still even northwestern Luzon is still going to be looking at some pretty blustery conditions, all associated with that tropical convergence with that cold surge. And it just really just ushers in all of this cool, dry air. And even for Okinawa, as we go ahead into Friday, I mean, you're going to be looking at some pretty high winds out there. In fact, let's take a look at this. I mean, 26 to 30 knots possible out there for the island of Okinawa, according to the GFS model. I mean, that's it's nothing to laugh at. That's actually pretty blustery conditions there. Not enough to cause damage, but it's all associated with this tropical system, and it's kind of interesting how all this ties together. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about the possibility of another storm system in the near future. 95W is what's being dubbed right now. It's an invest area, but just because an area becomes an invest area doesn't mean it's going to be developing in anything. In fact, all the numerical models and just my general thoughts on this is that nothing is going to develop in the tropics in the near future. If we get anything, it might be a little low, but no typhoons or anything like that. In fact, this is the GFS model. You can see the type of model and the time frame in the top left of your screen. Looking at Saturday, we switch it over to the European model, the CMC, the UK Met. I mean, everybody is just keeping the tropics pretty mundane and quiet over the course of the next week to the 2 weeks. Actually, it's pretty chill out there. No pun intended, and it's chill because of the cold surge that's just continuing to dominate, and that's going to suppress anything in the tropics really from developing, especially moving towards north. But of course, we'll keep an eye on it. But I'm pretty confident, at least at this time, that the tropical Western Pacific is going to be on the chill side. But I'm still going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to watch it out there towards the east. And also, I mean, there's so many other things I do want to talk about here. And we have a pretty decent audience here. So let's talk about what I can do. Western Pacific Weather 101's educational type videos. A lot of people have questions about how these warnings are made and all that. And I think that would be a fun topic. Not to mention, I'm a big fan of Japan weather. I worked there for 10 years. Big sea effect snowfall storm going on out there right now as well. I'll probably put another video on that too. I'm kind of interested in that, and a lot of snow actually taking place. So yeah, all right guys, anyways, that is all for now. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, post them in the comment box below, and as always stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.